What's up, YouTube? So today I am on site. I have my mascot with me, and we're going to do a back glass on a 16 Pro Max. There are quite a few similarities between this and other models, but I'll sort of walk you through step by step. A couple of things I'll mention. You're going to need just some tools, a chisel blade, sort of a spudger. You're going to need at least a tri-wing and a pentalobe. We're also going to need, now I go a bit above board, but I use isopropyl alcohol to clean up the frame as well as the chisel. Heat helps get it off. What else? An opening tool of some sort. You'll probably see me use a combination of these. And I cannot emphasize this enough. Do make sure to get a back glass with this metal frame installed. It is an absolute nightmare. I mean, if you can, get one with the MagSafe as well. They're not that much extra, and it makes a world of difference. Same thing, if you can get one with this little bracket right here, it makes an absolute world of difference. Just a few things to mention. The brackets, which are going to be some of the more difficult parts to get past, are right below. So this is the right side. This is where your camera button is. This is where your power button is. We have a little bracket right there, which is right below the camera button. Another right below the power button. And then we have two more, which, as you can see, right below the volume down button. And then all the way down here, maybe a little bit above this antenna band. I'm also going to mention be very careful with the wireless coil. It is a paired component. If you damage it, not only are you going to have to replace it, and then you're going to have an unknown part message, but if you don't have it at all, let me rephrase this. If you damage it and you don't have a replacement, the device is going to reboot every 3 minutes.
So, first of all, if you've got this far and you think, hell no, I do mailings. Second, I also buy iPhones. Working, broken, whatever. Even if it looks like this, I'm still interested. Link in the description. Let's make a deal.
It's going to come out in chunks. There's kind of not a great way to avoid this. Now, once we get here, you can kind of use the strength of the metal shield that you can see right here, because you're not really getting, as you see from like here up, you have the strength of the metal shield that you can lift up on, which just helps pull this off a lot easier. So basically I have that entire side, depending on how broken it is. Like this side's gonna be a little bit more interesting, so we'll heat it up a bit. Now, a lot of the times, my approach is just to get to, in this case, the metal shield. Other models, it's not this difficult, like the 15 Pro Max is actually kind of a massive pain in the ass because you don't have that metal shield, which is unfortunate. But this one, you get to come in here and then use the support. Now, I mentioned this earlier, I'll mention it again. I don't know if you can see this, but our wireless flex has a flex about right here. Our wireless coil has a flex about right here. I'll give you possibly another look. Yeah, you can see it down there. Once again, do not damage this flex. Even if you have a free one lying around, even if you don't, just try not to damage it. The reason being is this is not only is it a paired component, but if, let's just say, you don't have an extra one lying around and you damage it, you can't just turn the phone on and live without a wireless coil. The phone will basically reboot. It has a panic log issue, 3-minute restart. So if you damage this flex and you just turn it on, the phone will reboot every 3 minutes until it gets a new one installed. We can remove our shield, sort of nudge it that away, and then this comes off. Same thing with the battery. So before you go connecting or disconnecting, you always want to make sure your battery is disconnected. Board needs to be disconnected from power. Then you can come in. Now you can do this in whatever order you choose. I like to put on my little dust cover. I am a sucker for tools. It is obviously extremely important we not damage or puncture our battery. Same thing, there are some flexes down here that, just like the back glass or the wireless flex, have a 3-minute restart issue, which means if you damage them, the phone will reboot for 3 minutes, every 3 minutes. This happens a lot in regular back glass repairs because of the charging port being damaged. So next, we're going to remove our wireless coil. We do have a tri-wing here and here. The brackets come out pretty easy. Pop our flash out, and then you can use a combination of heat and isopropyl alcohol to loosen up this flex. That actually came out pretty easy, didn't even need heat. Now for the mic, I am going to apply a little heat to the back. And we're just going to take a flat spudger. You can just sort of lift up. Now, the next portion is going to be removing the coil, but there's also a lot of this like thermal tape. Just expect that quite a lot of it probably won't come off as easily as you think, but for this one, a lot of heat. Maybe not a lot of heat, but certainly enough. So if you can, once again, isopropyl alcohol is going to be your best friend. And it's already starting to not come off very well. Happens. Lovely. My God. And at some point, you just want to give up. Because this happens. There we go. Yeah. That's hilarious. Alright. Not the greatest pull.
How's it going?
Good. All right. Gonna clean up our frame. All right, this is a bit overkill maybe, but I use an adhesive primer on both sides of my glass. It just helps our new gasket bond a little bit better. All right, so this is almost ready to go. And then from here, we have our, you may or may not have this on yours, but there's two different layers of dust protectors. The first is that one you just saw I pull off. The second are these on the inside. So just make sure that your, and then you'll see they come off just like that. And a blue one, and a yellow one. So you notice we still have our adhesive gasket in place. Now we can connect our battery retaining bracket.
I'm just pretend I know what you're talking about. You know what I mean?
Oh, I'm recording for YouTube.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, you're like, who the fuck are you talking to?
How long you been doing this?
Many years, almost, I'm about to hit 10. Yeah. I started in 2016 doing full time. I mean, I technically was doing as a hobby for many years before that.
You realize you can make a lot of money from it, huh?
No, I was sort of, my wife believed in me. I didn't believe in myself. So yeah, this bracket has a little piece about right, or this retaining bracket has a little sort of clip about right here. So you kind of need to go on and then sort of push down and then slide over. So before we peel off our final remaining perimeter gasket plastic, you want to make sure that you don't have any glass or dust or debris, or specifically glass or loose screws. They have a habit of getting stuck on sticky things like the gasket, or magnetic things like the loudspeaker, the Taptic engine, around the camera, or perimeter gasket. Make sure that none of your brackets there are bent. I've seen that happen sometimes and they won't sit right.